Ormond Street Hospital. Jeffrey now also has a book. I'll tell you about that in a moment, because here's Mark in the background. And that sound and picture makes you realise why the vampire's nickname was the Whistling Wheelbarrow. So just to finish, Jeffrey's book, Never Alone, was released a month ago. It's currently raising over £1,000 a week, with all profits going to the Great Ormond Street Hospital. So do Google giraffesontour.co.uk and get a copy of the book. And any of you who are flyers, see how you can take Jeffrey flying with you.
Well, this aircraft is a two-seat trainer, but the Vampire initially came out and was hoped to actually go against the German fighters, the jet fighters during the Second World War. Produced initially as a single-seater. That meeting of the Germans was not to take place because it was actually the Gloucester Meteor that became the very first jet aircraft involved in the RAF. There are over 15 single and two-seat versions, including the Sea Vampire, that were produced, and it was, as we said, the second jet-powered fighter to enter RAF service. Now, these aircraft were highly popular. The British designs of jet engines and airframes actually led the world straight after World War II, and these were exported to many countries, in fact 31 different air forces. They're actually manufactured here in the UK, in Australia, India, France, Italy and Switzerland. RAF had a maximum of 19 squadrons equipped with the Vampire during its operational service. It's a beautiful aircraft. Why the twin boom? Basically because of the inefficiency of those first generation jet engines. The longer the jet pipe, the more inefficient the engine became. So that's what they used. Twin tail, short jet pipe. It was initially developed into an interim two-seat night fighter, and the armament that could be fitted was either 2 or 4 20mm Ismano cannons, 4 air-to-ground rockets with a 60-pound warhead, or 2,000 pounds of bombs under the wings of these hard points. Two-seater powered by a 3,500-pound thrust de Havilland Goblin. Now this engine is not like a standard jet engine that you see on normal aircraft. This is actually a centrifugal flow jet engine, whereas the jet fighters that were developed by the Germans used axial flow, where the air goes straight down the middle of the engine and is compressed with various rows of compressor blade wheels, and then fuel is added, and out the back end of the flame tubes the hot air is exhausted through another turbine and then out the back. In the British aircraft they had this centrifugal flow compressor, and that was a very large wheel with these curved, they were almost like scimitars that were added to the front of the wheel. The air came in the front, it went into the middle of that disc, and because the disc was rotating, it was thrown to the outside, and these scimitar type shapes actually compressed the air towards the tip of that wheel. Then it went off and did exactly the same thing through the burner cans and ignited, and then the hot jet efflux out the back end.
Well, this aircraft was restored to airworthiness in 2002, and it was the year after that that the pilot displaying for us today, Mark, first flew it, and he set up the Vampire Preservation Group in 2005.
incredible to think that the Vampire was the first jet to cross the Atlantic Ocean. Now that would have been scary.
Yes, and I think the first jet to land on a carrier as well, flown by Winkle Brown.
With no undercarriage.
Oh really? Oh, it was just a one time. Okay, I didn't know that bit.
Flop onto a big rubber deck.
Yes, right. Excellent. Well, Mark and the team are interested in the heritage of this aircraft, so if you flew or maintained this aircraft in the RAF, or have any photographs or other information about its history, please do contact them. Just look at the Vampire Preservation Trust. It's a nice topside class there. So it's WZ, so Whiskey Zulu 507 is its designation.
So what did you say was known as
It's a whistling wheelbarrow. Whistling because of the sound the engine makes, and wheelbarrow because of those twin booms.
Yeah. Below the equator it's called the 3-ton dog whistle. Think back that this aircraft looks very modern still, manufactured in 1952. That was our last pass. You can see he's climbed up.